Welcome to Black and Gold Insider, the show where you get to know the players of LAFC a little or a lot better. I am Max Bretos, and this week it is Ryan Hollingshead who is front and center. Good to see you, Ryan. How are things in your world?
All good, man. It's been a crazy schedule, tons of congestion, but everything's good. Good results so far this season, which obviously helps. And trying to just take care of our bodies as much as we can and try to be ready for the next game. It seems like every 3 days right now we're playing, so things are hectic.
Yeah, keep a schedule up. You don't want to miss any games. Ryan, I know you won't. You are a true pro. 12th season. I got to say, for normal folks, that means you might be slowing down. But looking at you, that is not happening. Hey, what is it like getting a little older and taking care of yourself where you're still playing like a much younger man?
Yeah, it's so funny as you get older in this game, you hear of people that have gone before you, and everybody talks about the day where your body just kind of slows down, where your body just doesn't quite have what it used to. And so in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know it's coming, but it's just, where is it? It's not here yet. And so that's a good thing. It's a good thing that I don't feel it yet. And I do know it is coming. It comes for all of us. And there's a day coming when I won't be able to play the game at a high enough level. But man, it's still, my body just feels really good. I feel like the older I get, the more mature I get in my playing, the more I'm able to see things on the field that maybe I couldn't see as a younger Ryan. And so there's a lot of things that I feel like I've been adding to my game rather than taking away from my game. So that's amazing. It's coming for me, but it's not here yet. So I got to just keep enjoying this ride. And as long as I can play at the highest level and play as well as I'm playing, I'm gonna keep pushing.
That makes you a pretty dangerous player. The physical attributes, yet the wisdom of an older player. I mean, you put those together, dangerous guy.
Yeah, and you see now in the footballing world, the 38 is the new 34. These guys that are playing late into their late 30s, and that used to be just kind of unheard of. But with the science and the way that we're able to take care of our bodies now, and the nutrition aspects and understanding kind of what bodies need, players can play it to a higher age than we thought was really possible. At least more consistently, they're doing that. And so, yeah, there's a side of that where you learn, especially for me being in the MLS specifically for so long, I've kind of learned what it takes in this league, kind of what the league's going to throw at you. And when you're able to start implementing that into the way you play, it really adds a lot.
Well, it's a very demanding league. You've handled it very well. No more old man questions for you, Ryan, all right? Because you are a young man in the way you look,
that's right,
in spirit,
that's right,
across the board. And you're still scoring goals. You have added to your account in 2025. You're one of the top scoring defenders. I got this from our crack research crew, which is Logan, is among others, there at the Performance Center. You are first among active players who are primarily listed as defenders. I don't know if you know this. Third all-time among players who are primarily positioned with defenders, so center backs, fullbacks. That is pretty impressive when you look at how have you embraced your life as a defender who scores goals. There's got to be some pressure there too, because people expect it now.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat. We've been going back and forth on, who am I chasing? Who are the other defenders? It's a stat that not a lot of people follow because you don't think much about, defenders scoring normally. And so I'm happy to be, at the top of that list and in those conversations, which is amazing. I was converted as a winger to an outside back. So a lot of my college football days, college soccer days, I was playing as a winger, more attacking minded. Went to Dallas. In my first year in Dallas, converted to an outside back, played a handful of games as a winger, and then converted to outside back. And since that day, I just never looked forward. But I think what that did, it was instilled in me when I am going forward, I feel very confident going forward. It's a part of my game that I really enjoy. It's a part of my game I feel confident doing. I love being in the box. Love finding myself with chances to shoot, chances to assist. So I think that's always been there because of my background. Not getting nervous, not overthinking things in the box, I think has been helpful. But I think you also see in this league, especially having outside backs that can help in the attack, having outside backs that can be dangerous in the box just adds another element to a team's attack that is incredibly helpful. It's hard to slow down. It's hard to stop. And if you can have a handful of defenders putting in 5 goals a game, I mean, it really can change a season. And so there's little, I'm not, I want to be careful because I don't want to overplay the attacking side of being a defender, because my main responsibility is to defend. But if you can get some productivity in the attacking third from your outside backs, from your center backs on set pieces, those sorts of things, they add up big time in a season. And
I imagine encouraged by the club. It's part of how the setup goes. Ryan's going to get open. There's going to be chances. Get him the ball, and so he can do the mustache celebration.
Yeah, and I think it's why I fell in love with this club so quickly and so deeply, because in coming here, there was just a free reign to like, hey, you find your times and you get forward, and we're all behind you. And there wasn't this sort of like leash on me where I felt like I couldn't go forward, had to stay true to my defensive responsibilities. They are very clear on those responsibilities, but they've also given me that freedom to get forward. And so I think that's why I've hit such a good stride here with this club. I think that's why we've found just a really good balance there. So having a club with the mindset that we have here, which is to attack, to score goals, has really, really helped my game.
And do the celebration, because I did it incorrectly, and I felt it's not this.
Yeah, it's a little bit like kind of relaxed at first. It's not too stiff. It's just like a little bit, just it's just the flow. It's just the mustache is here. Everybody's flowing. We're flowing together. It's just nice and simple. Hey,
it's working. I've seen people at the stadium do it. So there you go. Hey, Ryan, I almost forgot what you looked like in a Dallas shirt. You spent so long there, like 8-9 seasons, and I've almost forgotten because you've become an LAFC player. I remember when you arrived in 2022, and now you've logged a lot of time. You're part of the core, and much like you did when you arrived, several new faces have come in, and it's an annual thing with the club. There's new faces, and you gotta integrate them. What have you done with guys from all over the world that have come in to make them feel comfortable, to make them part of the team as quickly as possible, because you've had so many games to start 2025?
Yeah, that is a role that I've loved to jump into. And as I've become more of that core group, like you're talking about, one of the more tenured players here, it's been fun to welcome them in as like, yeah, this is my team. In year 1, year 2, a little bit, you're like, okay, I'm still kind of the outsider making my way in and wanting to help the club. And now it's like, no, this is our club, and kind of inviting the new guys into that ownership. It's something that's special about this club, is that it's, once you're here, you're just a part of the family, and it's a club that's so special. So it's bringing those guys in and having them be a part of it as quickly as possible. I've also just been in the league for so long. So understanding what this league takes, what it takes to get guys adapted to the game here, the speed of the game, the type, the style of the game, things that I know well and can help guys do. But man, in these seasons with this congestion, it takes everybody. Everybody's got to be ready to step up and contribute minutes. So we need everybody feeling comfortable and everybody playing at their highest potential, because it takes us all to do something special, which is what our goal is again this year.
I got to ask you about another new teammate, Indy the dog, floating around. He's getting a little mythology built around him. How's it been having a furry friend there? Any little accidents in the locker room that have been an issue? How's life?
Yeah, like a couple ripped pieces of equipment and gear, some nibblings happening for sure. But no, this guy he's any stories, anything you've heard about the dog doesn't do justice. He's even better than that. Having him around has been so fun. The team's loving it. He's loving it, of course. This dog is just on cloud 9 right now, just flying around. But I think there's all those little things that they do just mean something. They just add up. There's the little bits of joy that just come in different ways through this club that I think are important for what happens on the field. It's funny to say, but you've seen the movement in the last couple of years go into like the more mental side of the game, the more psychological side of the game. And you add in these little things, I think they can really help with the players' morale. They can help with, especially guys that come from overseas or come from other countries and it just doesn't quite feel like home. Little things like that can make a place feel like home in just a small way. And so I think Indy's, we got to maybe come up with a different name. I got to come up with a new name for him. But Indy is been good for the team.
Do you have any dogs at home?
No, I don't have any dogs. I've got some chickens, but I don't have any dogs.
Well, I read an article. It's funny you should mention that about the chickens. I read an article by our good friend Josh Gross at the LA Daily News. It says you got 8 free-range chickens up there in Palos Verdes. As you know, there is an egg shortage going around. How has it been kind of being a chicken farmer? And if you have any extra, can you shoot some down to me in Redondo Beach so I can have a nice little omelet?
I tell you what, those eggs are in high demand right now. And every day I come in, people are trying to scalp my eggs. For sure. These guys are producing.
What's going on up there?
Oh, but if you've had a fresh free range chicken egg, they are unbeatable. You can't find it at the grocery store, at the market. So you crack these things open. First of all, they're hard to crack because the protein on the shell, these things are so strong. But then when you do get in there, the yolks are so orange. They're like this deep orange color and they are tasty. So yeah, they're in high demand. People are asking when the shortage goes away. I don't know. Maybe I just start selling these things. Maybe I start a side business for Hollingshead's chicken. It may help me come up with a name for that one.
I think you got it. Hollingshead's chickens. Hollingshead's eggs.
I think Hollings eggs maybe.
But you're not selling any because of the shortage right now. Those are yours. Those are for your private.
Yeah, and when I bring them in, we just bring them in to share with the team here. Bring them in for teammates, or bring them in for the chef. Have them cook up some of the eggs. But they're so tasty. They're beautiful too. They're all sorts of different colors. It's been really fun having chickens.
With Easter around the corner, a lot of good stuff. And look, you've got the chickens, you got the dog in the clubhouse. I know I see you with Aaron Long. You guys are inseparable in the clubhouse, filling the social calendar. I got to ask about how that friendship has developed, because you've seen it between you guys, and then you see it on the field and just the benefits that it has. Yeah,
I think it's been such a joy having these sorts of players and teammates to work with every day. We have a really fun friendship. We have very similar styles of life, young kids, wives that get along. It's like a very easy friendship. He brings so much good energy to the club. Such a good, how do you call it? Community guy, brings people together, brings people into his little circle. And so we've done a good job, I think, of just giving a lightness to the locker room, bringing people from all different sorts of cultures in together. We're in this together. Sometimes that looks like playing jokes on people. Sometimes that looks like funny conversations in the weight room. Sometimes that looks like getting down to business and competing. So we've got a little bit of it all. But I think having another guy like that who's been around the league for so long, a veteran in this league, knows the league real well, and then has the personality that he has. When you kind of bring a guy like that in, it helps everybody, feel comfortable, helps everybody feel like they're a part of what's happening here.
Well, the comfort level is clear as day, and you guys should take a lot of credit at that. But I know it's organic, and it bleeds out onto the field without question, especially with these new players who feel like they've been around a lot longer than they have. And you really become an Angelino. Obviously your time in Texas, you're a NorCal guy. How has life been treating you here in LA? Is this your forever home? How the kids, they settling in?
Yeah, it's we love Los Angeles. We have really fallen in love with this city. When I was in school here, it was the first time outside of my hometown in a new city coming to play at UCLA. And that was originally where I fell in love, but it was so fast. And then by the time that I got drafted and went out to Dallas, it was almost like I didn't really get to experience LA. You're in your little college bubble. You've got your little group. You've got your little neighborhood that you kind of run in. but I didn't get to experience all of LA. And so being in Dallas, I was like, yeah, I miss LA, but I don't know if I'll be able to get back there. I don't know what that will look like. And so then being traded back to LAFC and being able to come back to LA, it's been better than I could have imagined. The culture here, the food here, the people that we've met here, the community we have here, the neighborhood we have here. It's been, I don't overdo it because it's just a place, it's just a place. It's more about the people, but the ability to get to the ocean and get to the water and see the mountains and the weather. It's like you throw all of that together with the food and the culture and the people, and it's really been special. My family loves it. My kids are settled. My wife is settled. This is a place that we will for sure call home forever. And I don't know in what way that will look, and I'll leave that up to God and what we have for the future. But this place is somewhere that I will always call home for sure.
And that's great for the city of Los Angeles because we know about how you get out in front for altruistic endeavors. And I know we spoke to you at the beginning of the season and you said, not just for the club, I want to help as many people as I can help. How do you manage that with your busy schedule? How do you get busy and just get other people involved as well? Because that's obviously important for me, for everyone to kind of chip in, especially during a year where our city is dealing with a lot of pain and et cetera.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And honestly, I struggle with this one a lot because I have a desire to be doing all of the things. And what's true is we have so much time that we can give to so many things. And so you have to be smart about how you do it. And then you got to be a dad as well. And you've got to be a husband and you've just got all these responsibilities. And so it's hard to balance all of those things correctly. And I don't know that I do it correctly or not, but the goal is to do as many things as possible while still being sustainable, without burning out and pushing too hard to the point where then you lose track of kind of the other things in life. So there's a couple, like what I've tried to do this year is hone in on a couple of the big things that I know, like, hey, I want to do these things. Let's get these on the calendar immediately. Let's set these things up. One of those being foster care and our commitment to the foster care community here in LA. So good, getting those on the schedule day one from the beginning of the year, making sure we have those things all set out. And then from there, sprinkling in these other things that I can do on a week here. I've got a free afternoon, a week here, I've got a free afternoon, and I can sprinkle those things in. And that makes it sustainable. It makes it something I love to do. And again, it's like, as a footballer, you have this platform that you want to use, and I'm just trying to do it the right way. So I think I'm finding a good balance. I think I'm in the right spot, but man, there's always a need. There's always something to do, especially, just having the fires. I was texting immediately after fires, like, hey, what can I do, like, practically right now? What can we really do? And not just wanting to run out there and be like, look at me, I'm doing something, but be like, hey, what's actually helpful? What can we really do to help this community? And so, there's a lot of different ideas around that on how to help. And I think having those conversations and being willing are the two biggest things.
You're an inspiration to me with that, Ryan. I want to do a lot more, and I know a lot of people listening will do the same. And being with the foster homes, and I know you've adopted children, and how important that is, and how many kids need folks like us for guidance, for love, for all those things. So I'm so glad you're out there, my friend.
Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that. And I know that's the call. I heard a stat at some point, especially at the foster care community. It was like, if every church in the United States, within the whole church, if they just fostered one kid, the entire foster system would be free of kids. It would be, every kid would have a home if every church. So then you take that to, like, if every person or every family or every community was willing to, it's pretty crazy how quickly we could solve that problem and give these kids a loving home. So there's little things like that. When you hear stats like that sometimes are, a little condemning. You're like, that hurts, or that's hard. But there's also times that can maybe fire you up and get you involved and be like, wait, I can be one of those people. And so I think it's helpful to again, have those conversations, be open about it, be open about having the conversations. And then whatever you decide. But let's talk about ways we can help and find the right ways to get involved.
Ryan Hollingshead, we appreciate all your time. Before you go, I just want to let you know, so I can put a target up there. The most goals scored by a primarily defender. Breck Shea, who I never really thought was a defender, but I guess he is, has 35. Graham Zusi, 31. You're right there. So if you get 4, 5, 6, you could be number 1.
Wow, amazing. I'll take that for sure. I'll take that, especially because Breck Shea was a winger for most of his career until he converted. So I'll take that. Same with Graham Zusi, actually.
I mean, what is this? What kind of stat is this? You're number 1.
It's okay. It's okay. I got time. I'm gonna beat it either way. So keep it that way, and then let's go set a record.
Ryan, we're so thrilled to have you part of this club for so many reasons. Thanks for joining us here on Black and Gold, the Insider.
Max Bretos, thank you, my friends.
He is the man, Ryan Hollingshead. Make sure you check us out on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be back again next week with another member of the Black and Gold. Until then.